for the City of LaPorte Historic Preservation Commission for Tuesday, November 19th at 5:30. Let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call. The wonderful Peter Steele, our secretary, Fonda Owens, our treasurer. Jean Raffi. We have Deb Parcell from Indiana Landmarks. Wonderful David Heinold, our city planner. Myself, Sally LaRocco, as the chair. Missing today is Lexi Blozis, April Hacker, and Bruce Johnson, our vice chair. First up is approval of the meeting minutes from September 17th meeting. We didn't have any business for the October meeting, so we're looking back to September.
Make the motion to approve the minutes as presented.
So we have
I'll second.
a motion to approve the minutes from Fonda and a second from Jeannie. Do we need to open to discussion? If there's no discussion, all in favor of approving the September meeting minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting minutes approved. Next up, we've got some correspondence reports. So we have a COA for 612 D Street. They're asking to put some new wood stairs on the front porch. Take it away, Deb.
Okay, so we've got COA 2024-13 for Michael and Alexis Blozis. The property 612 D Street. It's a single-site local historic district rated contributing Queen Anne-style built in 1895. The proposed project is new wood stairs at the front porch. I think you've all got pictures of that were submitted with the application and sent out with your packets. So the finding of fact, the existing steps are concrete. However, it's likely the original steps were wood, just based on the time and the style of the house. Lights on the newel post are not typical for a Queen Anne house, and wood steps should be painted. So the recommended motion is approval of the wood steps themselves, but with a recommendation for no lights on the newel posts. That if you look in the picture, the newel posts at the base do not extend clear to the sidewalk, and they really should go clear to the sidewalk. And that the steps and railing be painted rather than stained. I reached out to Lexi with some questions about that to see if she was open to painting as well as removal of those lights on top of the posts, because it's a very craftsman sort of look that just doesn't go with a Queen Anne house. It's an attractive set of stairs for a different house. And she responded that she was not planning to do the lights. So I think that part's okay, but she did not respond to the paint portion of it. But stained wood exterior stairs would be highly unusual, and nothing else is stained right around there, so.
So it's hard to tell from the picture. The porch is a wooden porch,
I think so.
It is.
and the porch is painted.
It is.
Okay.
And they do have an approval already for repainting their house. They just, financial stuff happened and they're delayed in that. So I think that that's happening, in the future. So they already have some, paint colors approved that came across our desk before that we've already said yes to.
So this is just a question from, my own inexperience. I'll just admit that, in front of everybody. So I know at my own house, like I have a deck in the back, and so I tried painting the deck. Do you think, are there certain paints that would be approved that are going to withstand our Indiana weather? Is that a consideration for why she may want to have stain instead of paint? I mean, I agree, this rendering doesn't like go with the house,
Right.
but are there regulations in terms of the type of paint or recommendations that could be offered?
We don't typically recommend what paint, but we would advise them to go to a good
Sure.
paint store, like Sherwin-Williams or something, and talk to them, because there certainly are paints that are better suited to this situation than others.
They
I
have
think
that.
there's also a section in our, I'm sorry, Peter, section in the guidelines too that talks about proper preparation of the wood and the primer to use and all of that. So that information is in the guidelines. We don't usually just spell it out, but it is there, and we're willing to answer questions if we need to.
I was just going to say, I can understand that they want to have the steps lit, but they're not going to do the riser lights either, right?
I'm understanding no lights, period, is what I'm understanding, but I'm not certain of that. I was hoping she'd be here so she could answer those questions.
It's too bad that coach light is so far away, because that might help light the stairs.
Right. I'm not fond of those on the risers, but I think they're less noticeable than the ones on the newel posts.
Also with those riser lights, if the steps are painted, her porch is kind of a gray black. And so if the steps are painted, those riser lights during the daytime are gonna disappear, and I know we're not really here for opinions, but I think in the evening, they're gonna add a safety component and some ambiance.
Yeah, if it's painted a darker color, they'll be
Yeah.
much less noticeable. That would definitely help.
Also, in the photograph, one of your recommendations is that the newel posts extend to the ground.
Yes.
On the left-hand side, it looks like it just extends to the bottom step, but on the right-hand side, it looks like that newel post is kind of doodled in to go all the way to the ground.
I'm not really sure what's happening. I think it has to do with photoshopping this
Yeah.
together, so I'm not really sure what it looks like, but as long as it's built properly and sturdy, yeah. Is if you look, as you're looking at it to your right-hand side, the railing goes up and then it goes like across that, and there's nothing like that on the left-hand side, and I'm sure you do it the same both sides. I hope you would do it the same both sides, so.
Could we ask for an updated CAD
We could.
photo before we,
You could ask for final approval by staff if she would submit the final design, a nice little sketch that would show the details, and then staff could approve the final details of the railing and the posts.
yeah, because this is, the first thing I thought of was Frank Lloyd Wright with
Yeah.
Corinthian pillars.
Yeah.
It was just like it's off.
Right, the two don't go together, but I think, if we could see this, I feel like they're probably a very straightforward baluster on either side, and we didn't have the lights on the top, and it was painted. I think that would be good, but we just don't have those details, and I didn't get all my questions answered, so I can't really say. But if she could give a better description.
Do you want a motion for that?
Yes, please.
I'd like to make a motion that, I have no idea. No, that it would be subject to staff approval after an updated more detailed plan.
So are you saying you make a motion that we approve the plan with the suggested edits from Deb, that the newel posts extend all the way to the ground and that there's no lights, and that it's painted to match whatever they're painting their porch? Is that, okay.
And then it would be staff approval after that, right? Yeah.
Can I
I'll
have,
second the motion.
okay, we've got a second from Jeannie that the steps are approved with the suggested changes from Deb, all in, with the final staff approval. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And that carries. House is getting new steps, hooray. Do we have any, moving on, do we have any committee reports? I think we're wrapping it up for the year. Okay, old business. Bruce and I had and Deb had the opportunity to attend the Preserving Historic Places Conference in beautiful Madison, Indiana in October. I know that Bruce and I had a fantastic time. We learned a lot. We got, very inspired. It was super interesting to network with a variety of people invested in preservation, from property investors up to local government. I had a really nice conversation with the mayor of Madison, and that was awesome to get some direction and encouragement from him. And Bruce and I also had we went on the Underground Railroad walking tour, because Madison has like 6 confirmed Underground Railroad conductors. And Bruce and I we made a fantastic connection that is potentially really exciting for LaPorte. And Bruce was he was very excited to make some progress in that for LaPorte. So I'm looking forward to hearing his updates from that. What about you?
Well, I went down in the wee hours of Tuesday morning, and so was able to attend camp all day as part of, I went on a scholarship too from camp. So learned some good stuff there. Unfortunately, missed moderating a session because no one told me I was moderating. So while I was in camp, I should have been somewhere else. But anyways, I picked up some good stuff. We talked a lot about making defensible decisions as a commission, which I think is really important. And probably I'll put together a little PowerPoint on that in the future, because that was really helpful, I thought. Talked a little bit about enforcement in violations. I feel like everybody's got the same problems, it continues to be a struggle. Every city's short-staffed in code enforcement and have trouble getting there, but they had some good comments on that. And then the final session was on preservation planning, which was really good. So I'll give you some of that all in a PowerPoint at some point, probably first of the year, and we can learn a little bit more about that. But it was very good. And then sessions, I didn't go on that tour, but I went on the second floor tours downtown, which is a real passion of mine. So it's always interesting to see how downtown second floors get finished out. And so that was really good. And then went out to, Hanover, and did the final tour out there. Saw some projects our southern office is involved in, so it was good stuff. Saw a lot of people I hadn't seen in like 9 years when I spent the summer working in Madison, so good
I
stuff.
really enjoyed the like the main banquet presentation about how they had worked on that cotton mill and adaptive reuse of historic property. That was really interesting, and it was neat to hear from the people that like were investing in Madison, and to kind of get my wheels turning on how we can leverage things like that with people that are invested in LaPorte, and to have those kind of felt empowered to have those conversations and advocate a little more precisely for preservation. It was I was glad I made the time to go.
Good. Yep, glad you could make it.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so that's, any questions? It was great.
Where is it next year?
It's in beautiful Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Is the Hanover Historic District pretty impressive?
No.
No, okay. Won't bother going there.
The houses, the few that we saw were really good, but when I was in Madison for the summer, I actually lived on the campus of Hanover. And the town itself, I always felt, it just feels weird when you walk through the town itself. It's like something's missing. There's not a real historic downtown at all.
Right.
And there's some really nice houses, a few really nice houses, smaller, and then nothing. And come to find out, in the 1970s, they had a terrible tornado that went through there and just like decimated a good portion of their downtown, as well as some of the campus buildings, took out a bunch of the trees. That explains that feeling that just something isn't right, something's missing. So there's probably a half a dozen houses in a really nice church that are historic, and that's about it.
Okay. Thank
Campus
you.
is cool, though.
Okay, hazardous materials workshop. We changed the date of it. Is it Saturday? It's
Yep,
Saturday.
this Saturday.
At the library.
At the Exchange Building.
Oh, at the Exchange. I love the Exchange. Talk about adaptive reuse.
You won an award for that, actually.
Yeah. And it's it's at 10, right?
Right, it starts at 10.
It starts at 10, yes.
All right. So I'm looking,
There might be some confusion about the location, because I thought it was going to be at the library. But as long as, people go to the library, and then someone will surely tell them, no, it's over there, right?
Well, in the parking, unless you're doing street parking on Indiana, the parking lot is.
over by the library.
To the main library, so. I won't be able to be there with the change of the date.
Oh,
all right.
Sorry.
Your sister's coming. It's fine.
Well, I'm going.
Oh, you're going.
I'm going.
So let's just, that is also on the PHLP website, correct?
Is it correct on the PHLP website?
I don't,
You know
I have
what?
not.
No, it's not. I have, I'll email them when I get home that it's at the Exchange, and hopefully I won't have to hold their hand to get it done.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to that. Maybe make sure everybody do a little post on your Facebook page so that your immediate circle knows that we're hosting that. I'm looking forward to it, as both professionally and personally. Yeah. Okay. Oh, and I will take care of coffee and stuff.
Okay, good. Thank
Okay.
you.
New business. Do we have any new business? We're a rocket ship tonight. All right. Visitors? No visitors this evening. And announcements. Of course, the Candlelight Christmas tour is coming up that PHLP hosts annually. We've got some really beautiful properties on there, so we're looking forward to supporting them as they continue to promote individual properties and give people a glance inside to understand why protecting our historic infrastructure is important, because when people have access to those historic properties, they see their value. That's it.
Wait till you see Jeannie's house.
Huh?
Wait
Jeannie's
till
is
you
on
see
there.
Jeannie's house. One other thing that I'd wanted to mention, I guess it's kind of an FYI, but Sally, you told me that you could take insulation, speaking of hazardous materials,
Oh,
to
yeah.
the
Department of Health.
Department of Health, the county health department, and then they would test it for you, and I did that, and they tested my insulation, and it's not hazardous, so
Hooray! Yeah, so
we
if
should
you,
remember that at the workshop, if that's not mentioned.
that I will mention that at the workshop. So if you, a homeowner in Indiana, if they have a material that they think could contain asbestos, they can collect a sample of it, and you wanna double bag it, you wanna have yourself, like muffled. You double bag it and take it to the health department, and they'll ship it downstate and test it for free. Yeah. That's why they pay me the big bucks. All right. No other announcements? For the good of the, way to go, guys, 20 minutes. Will someone make a motion to adjourn the Tuesday, November 19th meeting of the Historic Preservation Commission?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Jeannie. Can we have a second?
Second, it's a tie.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right. The November 19th meeting for the Historic Preservation Commission is adjourned at 5:52 PM.